Oh, it is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Once again, I'll be reading from the United Church of Christ Daily Devotional using a Christian scripture and text as a stepping off point to discussing how we live in this world, not necessarily presenting it as a particularly Christian reflection or meditation, but simply as a tool to be used to discuss how we live in the world and relate to one another in creation and the divine, if that's something you believe in. The devotion for today is entitled Blurred Lines, and it's Kaji Dosha. Kaji bases the devotion upon the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 4, Common English Bible. Peter said to Ananias, "You haven't lied to other people, but to God." And then Kaji writes, shortly before resigning, a former government official admitted to telling white lies to the public. But nothing, she claimed, was a lie of real substance. Interesting. How do we decide which lies are harmless and which are substantial? In Acts 5, Ananias and Sapphira withheld part of their earnings while pretending to give it all. Their lie wasn't just about money. It was about misrepresenting themselves before God and their community. Their sin wasn't dishonesty. It was the deeper deception of trying to fake righteousness. Lies, black, white, or gray, are always about manipulation. They seem like the easy road, a way to avoid discomfort or gain an advantage. But the more we lean on them, the more they shape our reality. We start living a lie rather than just telling one. God calls us to truth, not to shame us, but to free us. A life built on pretense will always collapse under its own weight, but truth leads to integrity, trust, and real connection. The good news is that God is not waiting to strike us down, but to lift us up, calling us into the light, into a life where we don't have to fake our way in. And Kaji's prayer: God of truth, help me to live with integrity, knowing that there is freedom, and in you there is grace. Well, a couple of thoughts that came to mind as I was reading this was, I think lying can be a slippery slope. Sometimes just little white lies seem to make it easier for us, and then we can use them in other situations, and then they grow and grow. Kind of reminds me of a situation that I was involved in which someone had misused a credit card that was placed in their care, like a company card, and I think it may have begun as a simple mistake, going to the store and using the credit card and not thinking about it. I didn't realize that it was the wrong one, and then when they realized that no one noticed it, the use of or charges for things not related to their job, they may have made a decision to use it again and again and again, and it snowballed. And eventually, the person got caught in that because the charges got so big. And I think being untruthful can lead to the same sort of thing. It just becomes easier to lie, and then I think it eventually can catch up with you. A perfect example right now is George Santos, who I think is now going to be in prison for like 7 years because of lies and things that led from one to the other to him, and just snowballed into just a life-changing situation for him. I think it always helps to be truthful. I think you can be truthful without being hurtful too, because there's always the joke about, hey, does this outfit I'm wearing make me look fat? Do you answer truthfully or not? I think there are ways of being truthful or approaching those kinds of situations without being hurtful. But you don't have to lie. And I don't think it does anyone any good to lie. And in that particular situation is poor anyway in my mind, because it's a matter of opinion. It's not really a truth situation, and it's different. What is fat to one person is not to another. So anyway, that's probably getting off topic, but I think trying to lead truthful lives, and especially with yourself, being honest with yourself, being reflective on how you interact in the world with other people and with creation, and taking time to think about it and make the change necessary to lead a more truthful life in this world can make all the difference. And I think sometimes being honest with people, I mean, you have to know how trustworthy someone is, but can also help you navigate by showing your vulnerability, and can deepen relationships. But again, in my mind, it's knowing how trustworthy the person you're confiding in really is. Anyway, those are some thoughts that ran through my head today, and hope they've given you something to think about in your navigating your daily life, and hope to talk to you again soon.